What is good, YouTube? Warstu here with a video on Superman. So, I hate to say I told you so, but Superman is undergoing reshoots. Just like your boy Warstu told you they would over a month ago. Stop sleeping on what I'm telling you. So, and also, test screenings are now terrible. And James Gunn has finally said, yes, we're going to have to reshoot some things. Okay. You're going to have to start believing these reports. And the only reason I go over these reports is because if the movie comes out and doesn't do well, there is receipts of people saying stuff, which happened with Captain America 4. I really hope this isn't the case for the Superman movie, because Superman is the biggest superhero in the world. You don't even need to market it. It's literally Superman. Just like Batman, you don't really need to market either and or these movies. So, what is good, YouTube? Warstu here. If you're new around, make subscribe to never miss any of the Marvel, DC, Kaiju, MonsteVerse pop culture based content that I try to cover on a daily basis. You could subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, and let me know, how excited are you for the future of DC? I am excited for the future of DC, but the only problem is they revealed a massive slate, which they've literally canned half of the slate because these things change. Just like Stephen Amell says, James Gunn, stop yapping and start working. Also, if you want to see that beautiful face behind the beautiful face, check us out on Instagram at Warstu. I am building a new setup soon, so I'll be coming on camera much, much more. And also check us out on Twitter, WarstuG. Why is the G there? Because someone, I actually know who stole my handle, but I've got to give so many receipts to get the Warstu handle back that it's not worth it. So let's get into it. So, rumor, insider calls Superman terrible after test screening. Okay, interesting. This week, DC Studios shared a slew of updates and minor announcements about the DC's future. However, positive have largely been overshadowed by the fact everything from the Authority to Booster Gold and Waller have ran into problems. Why is everything at DC running into problems? Yet you've got former Zack Snyder fanboys saying James Gunn is the Oracle. And I'm like, did y'all not watch Creature Commandos? Yo, Warstu, stop trolling. I'm not, but Creature Commandos was below mid. On one hand, it's hard to fault co-CEO James Gunn and Pete Safran for their transparency. On the others, many fans have inadvertently painted a picture of two creators who might be in over their head. Well, realistically, they are. And this next bit makes literally no sense. Superman markets itself. And this next bit is hilarious. Superman will be a big test for DC Studios. It's literally Superman. Everybody knows who Superman is. Yesterday, even news broke via the Wrap that marketing veteran Rick Stratus has been tapped to consult for DC Studios on the movie. He previously led Apple TV Plus with marketing campaigns. Okay, I know they're they're not it's a soft reboot because half of the cast of the DCU is still there. It's Superman. You have to bring in a massive marketing person who is questionable whether it's going to be good or not. It's an intriguing movie, and one that leads to renewed speculation about just how much hinges on Superman's success. It can't, though, because James Gunn's like, yo, if the Superman movie doesn't do well, then nothing else does well, or nothing else is released. Yet they're filming Supergirl and working on a lot of other stuff. Earlier this week, Jeff Snyder, who, is very hit and miss, brought word that the rebooted internal test screenings have been receiving a warm response than last December. One source, however, counters that. The interesting thing about Jeff Snyder is he works every single angle and gets there first so he can say he was there, right? And then he backtracks because it's like, yo, Doomsday's getting the release date's getting delayed because people don't know who's going to be in the movie. And all of a sudden now Superman, now he's saying the Superman movie is good after previously saying, no, it's terrible. Talking on the hot mic, the season reporter blocked me on Twitter. I'd love to get him in a YouTube video. I would really love to have a conversation with him on the YouTube channel. Hit him up, lads. Let's see if we can make it happen. I got a call from my best source after the newsletter. He said, great newsletter tonight. You got one thing wrong about that Superman, which I continue to hear is terrible. Now, anyone that's followed the channel knows that I'm a massive DC fan, but I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to paint a narrative that I want this movie to suck. I don't. But if I think the leadership and direction is poor, I will say it. I'm not one of these, old Snyderverse fans who have flipped back to, being the biggest James Gunn fan just to cover content. Interestingly, it was during Gunn's press event, walked back his previous comments about likely not doing any reshoot whatsoever for Superman. Your boy Warstu said, mark my words, there will be a reshoot. Now, I think it's very patronizing and very cynical that James Gunn's like, yeah, I don't do reshoots. My movies are so great, they don't need reshoots. If they don't need reshoots, then clearly your inside circle is, you know, like that's why you have to do external reshoots, because people who aren't your close friends aren't going to be honest with you. He said this, we've done real screenings, definitely learning stuff all the time. Definitely editing and making little changes. You know, we might shoot a couple. He's really downplaying what they've got to reshoot. We might shoot a couple little tiny things the filmmaker finally, okay, I did that word, admitted. All my additional photography is so hard because it's like I used to be kind of against it because, you know, you don't want to have to reshoot again. It's a pain in the ass. And then this further goes on to say, I really like being able to say, you know what? I wish I had shot that first, hitting that. And so I tend to go back and pick that kind of stuff up. So it wouldn't be anything major, but those of things, yeah, I'll cover you a couple more things like that. So it's interesting how James Gunn shot down the fact there was going to be absolutely no reshoots. This tells us that everyone's saying, oh, the test screenings were fake. If the test screenings went so well, James Gunn would not be admitting that he was wrong. He knew there was going to be test screenings all the time. It does make me laugh. And now everyone's on his case going, oh my God, if he's wrong about this, what else is he wrong about? And it's interesting how some scoopers are saying, yo, I've heard good things, I've heard bad things. But for someone to come out and actually say the word terrible is actually pretty darn interesting. So, you know, everyone's favorite fake scooper, My Time to Shizzle, My Time to Moon, came out and said something as well about this. And I think, I don't know, it's really hard to tell sometimes because I think some of these scoopers just say stuff for clout. But this account said, just spoke with someone who's seen the James Gunn Superman cut. And they gave it a 7.5, a 7.5. And then they said, for context, these are the ratings of the other movies and shows that he's done. Gave a Creature Commando 7.5. Creature Commando was terrible. Gave the Suicide Squad 9 out of 10. Yeah, that's pretty decent. Peacemaker 8 out of 10. Yeah, pretty decent. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, 7 out of 10. Guardians of the Galaxy 2, 7 out of 10. Guardians of the 1. So basically, it's a generic James Gunn movie. This is pretty much what this is telling us. So now Jeff's like, yeah, I've heard great things. And someone else is like, nah, I've heard terrible things. But James Gunn's always against reshoots because his scripts are so freaking perfect that he never has to reshoot anything. And now multiple people are coming out literally saying the same things. But this kind of information, it's never real and never true. Oh, wait, we've just seen Captain America 4. And how bad was that? So I don't believe it is little reshoots here and there. But it doesn't really matter predominantly because the movie doesn't come out in July. We've still got so much time. Now, it's interesting because this article here says they should be nervous if Gunn Superman fails, then the whole DCU he's trying to create might crumble. Along with it, Warner Bros. Has invested a lot of money into this film, rumored around the $300 million mark. Well, there was no reshoots, and that was debunked by James Gunn. Then James Gunn comes back, and she's like, okay, actually, we are doing reshoots. So I guess what I'm trying to say to these DC fanboys is start listening to what people are saying. And you can be a fan of DC without having to sugarcoat and fanboy absolutely everything. It's like the most awful first look. What is it with DC and giving us the worst first looks ever? We had the worst first look ever for the Superman movie. Then we get the most awful first look at Green Lanterns. And people were glazing it saying, oh my God, hey, these are my Green Lanterns. It's literally two people walking down a street, right? This is supposed to be an intergalactic Green Lanterns. They're in space. But no, the first look is two random people walking down a street. Yeah, they might have a Green Lantern ring on, but realistically, this is an awful first look. And a lot of people are saying this. Constructive criticism is great. Then you got people coming out saying, yo, Superman's going to make $200 million open in domestically in America. That ain't good, lads. That ain't a good number. Like, I don't understand why people say, oh, 200. Doesn't really matter as long as it makes money. But the point is, DC's hired someone to do marketing. Superman does not need marketing. It really makes me laugh how when rumors get debunked and then months later, oh no, actually James Gunn's like, yeah, I could confirm that we had real test screenings that weren't my inside circle. Some people say that it was terrible. He didn't confirm that, but by saying, oh, we might have to reshoot some things, he's pretty much confirming it. Now, predominantly, I've been told with pretty much the whole movie, and predominantly it's a James Gunn movie, basically. Pretty much. It's a James Gunn movie, a little bit generic in parts. It seems like a decent movie. It just depends on execution, realistically. But that's not my place to say. I pretty much know the whole movie, but it's not my place to say. If you're expecting to be blown away, unless you're going to glaze something, then I realistically just, watch it for yourself. Watch the next trailer when it comes out, probably around CinemaCon in April. But don't start saying it's the greatest movie I've ever seen in my life. James Gunn is not Christopher Nolan, not even close. So like always, guys, let us know how freaking hyped are you. I think it would be bad if they do reshoots. They need to change some stuff. The ending is literally in the first trailer. So like always, guys, I know what you're going to say. I'm a James Gunn hater. No, I'm just someone who can be a fan of a franchise, i.e. Superman, and still critique it and criticize it and be like, yo, lads, you said there was no reshoots. Now there is reshoots. You said there weren't external test screenings. There has been external test screenings. So just start being transparent. Stop being dishonest. Stop saying things. Say what you actually mean and don't hide anything. Other than that, if you're not going to do that, just be Kevin Feige and don't say anything unless you're in a big interview or unless you're on Comic-Con stage, so on and so forth. So like always, guys, I will catch you in another video, guys, very soon. Catch ya later.